Friday Night Live. What are we up to? 12, I think it is. Hello, everyone. We're here with our favourite special guest, Warren from NQ Explorers tonight. Returned. He's back from the
wilds of the USA.
As you can see behind us, where's that, Warren?
That's Arizona. It's about hour and a half out of Phoenix, north of Phoenix.
Yeah.
Up in the gold country.
Yep. And now, so let's just have a bit of an overview in case people haven't watched what you've been up to on your page. So tell me, like, what have you been doing? What have you done? And we'll,
Okay, well, we went, primarily we went to the US for the SHOT Show, which is in Las Vegas. That's the world's biggest gun show, basically. Yep. Just lots of guns.
Yep.
But it's also outdoor gear.
Yep.
You know, like packs, boots, clothing, that sort of thing. But it's just an outdoor show, but it's primarily for the law enforcement, military, that kind of thing. And Garrett has a stand there. They have a security stand for their security division and the hobby division. Yep. So if people don't realise, Garrett has, unlike most of the big metal, mine lives the same.
Yeah.
You have a security division, a military division and a hobby division. So obviously what we do is a hobby division.
Yep.
So Garrett's got a stand there, and they usually use that as a platform for any new product and that kind of thing. But generally they have people from YouTube people and people that are known to the public on the stand, which included Colleen and I.
I see a photo of people signing autographs. How many Did anyone from the States recognise you from the YouTube channel? Some people.
A lot of people just want to talk to us because we have our accent. We don't have to say anything intelligent. And we never do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we went over there for the SHOT Show, which is kind of an annual thing. Well, it is an annual thing.
Yep.
Us going we've been for the last 3 years.
Yep.
But prior to that, we flew to Phoenix and met up with Steve Moore. People that know Steve from Garrett he does the instructional videos and DVDs that are in with the detectives. Steve's got his own channel too. But Steve works at Garrett as the publicity manager.
He's a nice guy, actually,
Steve,
he's a top bloke,
He's just like us, just loves metal detecting.
Yeah.
So we met up with him in Phoenix and we spent a day on gold.
Yep.
And then the second day we went up on the relics in an old ghost town up above 5,000 feet. It was where it actually snowed. It doesn't normally snow in that area, but it did the day we were there. And we did some relics there, and we got a couple of good videos made, met a lot of really interesting American prospectors, and we learned a lot. I mean, I love going to these kind of things. Not just, even like just going out with you, I learn things, and if I go to a show, you learn things talking to people. You never know everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And just the different way that they do things and the different conditions they're working under to find gold and relics.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Yeah. But in the end, we're all the same. Everyone just loves doing what we're doing, and we're all the same sort of hobbyists.
Yeah.
And as far as the relics go, we find the same sort of relics in America as we do out here.
Yeah.
Because the Industrial Revolution, they've all got the same snake buckles and shotgun shells and all of coins, well, not the same coins, but that kind of stuff that we do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll have a few, say good day to a few here. Michael's here and Brian. Deb's here, Aaron, Nicole, who else is here? Sean and Peter and Jess. G'day guys, nice to have you here. Rodney, how are you? Aaron. Aaron won the cool towel last week. I don't know. Yes, you were on.
Yeah, I was watching it.
Have you used those cool towels before? Aaron reckons he's tried it and loved it.
That's the one you put in the fridge and then put it around your neck.
No, it's the you wet it and shake it out, and it's this fabric that stays cold.
No, I don't know. We haven't used it.
Yeah, I've got one over there. Orange.
Oh, the orange thing?
Yeah. So
okay.
I haven't cleaned up from last week yet. I've still got the stuff here from...
You've still got the Santa hat from 4 weeks ago.
I have got the Santa hat still here.
He never cleans this up.
Well, I don't know what to do with it.
It'd be Mount Niagara after 12 months.
Exactly, yeah. So we need to just apologise. We had some Telstra issues.
It wasn't us. It's all high-tech here, but Telstra, their upload speed was just tragic. Yeah,
there must be some work going. So I noticed a couple of people here, Nicole, oh my God, I forgot. Finally here though. So you actually haven't missed too much, Nicole.
We were later than you were.
Yeah, exactly. So we were about 8 minutes late due to technical issues. And I'm really looking forward to my phone bill. Now I'm
Yeah.
running off my mobile
Oh, yeah,
phone.
this is true.
So,
Yeah, I hope you've got a good data plan, because we're going to chew a lot of it up.
so yes, so it'll be lots of fun. So anyway, yeah, Trev had some trouble finding a leak tonight, mate. We were very, very late. My apologies. So Andrew's here. G'day, Andrew. How are you? So, did you find what machines were you using over
Okay,
there?
so well, just the American prospecting experience. We went in there with VLF. We took Garrett AT Maxes.
Maxes, yep.
The reason is that, to be truthful, the Americans don't know what mineralisation is.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
Warwick out here, that's crazy hot out there.
Yeah.
And you go to WA or parts of the Golden
Yeah.
Triangle. Arizona is just a really moderate,
Yeah,
consistent mineralisation. You do get some hot spots in the bedrock,
yep.
but it's nothing like Australia,
Yeah.
as you would expect it to be.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about there is Arizona, which is one of their, apart from the California motherlode, Arizona's an arid, dry country, as you
Yep.
can see in that photo behind us.
Yep.
It's all cactus and, your cowboy sort of country.
Yep.
Never rains.
Yep.
Well, it did rain the day I was there.
Rain and
But
snow.
yeah. But so the interesting thing about that is that the what we'd call wash in Australia, like
Yeah.
your gravels, you wash where you alluve, you wash
Yep.
where it's generally your gold bearing layer.
Yep.
We're used to seeing water worn quartz, water worn gravel,
Yep.
cobbles and boulders down to sand.
Yep.
Arizona, because it's so arid and because the geology is so new compared to here, the wash is like really angular, broken bedrock.
Oh, really?
Because the
Yeah.
country's so young.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the blokes are saying, the American guys are saying, oh, it's down in the wash. I said, oh, where's the wash? I
Yeah,
can't see
there's
any
no
wash.
wash.
This is just broken bedrock. That's wash? What are
It's
you
just
talking
rock.
about?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
it's
broken
just-
bits of
yeah,
rock.
yeah.
So, Colleen and I and Steve were running up and down the gullies like mad hares for a while.
Yep.
And then when we came back to where the, it was on a private claim that one of the Americans, Jim, had,
Yep.
he was hooking into the ground with pick and shovel like old times.
Yeah.
Like, so you've got these dry gullies, they're really narrow, only a couple of metres wide, steep-sided, and in the bottom of the gully you've got this wash, which is just angular rough rock,
Yeah.
like really new rock.
Yep.
And the bedrock is 3 or 4 feet under that.
Oh, really?
So you could run up and down forever with a metal detector, never going to hear any gold,
Yeah.
which we were doing. We come back and said, what's going on here? And they said, oh, you've got to remove the wash to get to the gold. So that's what they're doing.
So they're lifting out
They're
like
taking
3
all the
feet of
material-
rock
yeah,
out,
yeah,
then
yeah.
detecting it.
Yep, that's
Oh,
it.
Are they detecting it or are they?
No,
planning it?
primarily they're dry blowing it
Right.
because there's
yeah.
no water.
Yeah.
But they take all the gravel with them.
Yeah.
So you're not going to detect it from the top of the wash.
Yeah.
There's not much shallow ground. There's a little bit of bedrock exposed in bars like you'd expect to see here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so what they were doing, they take out, we was pick and shovel down 3 feet,
Yeah.
and then when you find the bedrock contour, little gutters in the bedrock, and then you start detecting and you get the nuggets there.
Oh, okay.
So, we spent, it was a full day, we were there
Yeah.
before dawn, and we got, I think there was 4 or 5 little nuggets came out. I didn't
Yeah.
get any personally, but
Yeah.
that's because I wasn't equipped to do what they were doing. Not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that'd be a bit of work.
Oh, it was like, I got some good video, we're just hooking, like old timers hooking him with a pick and shovel. You're like
Yeah.
picking the ground and breaking it all up, and then 2 or 3 blokes with shovels shoveling it up on the bank. That's gold prospecting in Arizona.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
okay, you can ping a nugget in the shallow ground
Yeah.
up the gully maybe,
Yeah.
but because our geology is so old, our wash
What?
is water worn and it's very old.
Yeah.
Their wash, because it's such an arid place. I mean, I've been to, Australia's got some arid zones.
Yeah.
There's some, that southwest of United States, it's
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah.
Like it's really arid stuff.
And are they? I suppose with that sort of work, it's all it's dry blowing, isn't it?
Dry
so
blowing.
it's not
Dry blowing.
It's not any.
You can't sluice it, there's no water.
Yeah. So are they doing a lot of detecting in that area? Not really.
No. Not really. Everyone's going, look, okay, it's a Saturday morning, it's America, and it's a public area.
Yeah.
Well, we went up to a private claim, but the GPAA, which is the Gold Prospectors Association of America, if you're a member, they've got pegged ground where you can go as a member, as some of the clubs here do.
Yeah.
So we haven't got to my knowledge, there's no national prospecting association like the GPAA.
Yeah.
We've got state-based ones, like APLA and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So GPAA's got their own ground, but Jim's got his own lease, which is a square mile or something up in the gully.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, it's just wall-to-wall four-wheel drive. Like you go prospecting
and all people with picks and
shovel. And a VLF metal detector in the back.
Yeah.
And they're all running around in these. I've got some pictures there you might want to put up later of. We're using quad bikes in Australia, or people use quad bikes to get to spots they're going to.
Yeah.
Americans use the big Can-Am 4 and 2 seaters. They call side by sides.
Yeah.
So everything's coming in on trailers. Yeah. And there's blokes going in all directions on these side by sides.
Oh, really?
Like Australia. I mean, you can go places in Australia and there's plenty of prospectors running around, but nothing like America.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
And there's these side by sides. They've got them mounted with all sorts of equipment like you wouldn't believe. And then they drive 2 miles up a gully and stop. And they're all
a 15-minute walk.
Yeah, 15-minute walk. The best thing about it all, they're all armed. They're all got sidearms. They've all got pistols.
They're all out in Arizona, the wild west in Arizona in their side by sides.
Look, it's not like if it makes sense to carry a pistol. Actually, in Australia, it makes sense to carry a pistol, but it's pretty hard to get. You can.
Yeah.
I probably would if I could.
Yeah.
Because they shoot rattlesnakes and stuff
of
with
course.
them.
Yeah.
But they're all armed and they're all running around these side by sides.
Yep.
Which you can see there. Jesus, some good bits of gear. Like they're just, I don't know how much these things cost, but
I bet you they're not cheap.
And then they've got a trailer and they're pulling it with a Dodge Ram or an F350.
Yeah.
That's Saturday morning going prospecting.
Yeah. You'd think they get a little excavator or something.
Well, I think it's like us. You're not allowed to use mechanical.
So.
Yeah, but so very different way of prospecting.
Yeah.
To what we're used to, and I mean all the gold principles apply, like we've discussed many times. Yeah. But this wash in these dry gullies, which they call washes, is deep stuff. Yeah. And you've got to excavate it to get to the gold. Yeah. Of course, the wash is shot full of fine gold. They get tons of. Like the little area we work was probably 6 feet long, and they'd got half an ounce out of that over the last few weeks in fine gold. Yeah. Half an ounce.
So that's a lot. That's actually a lot in a little area.
It's pretty rich. It's pretty rich. Yeah. And so the biggest nugget of the day was a gram. Yeah. And then there was a couple of little micro nuggets. Yeah. Under half, 1/10 of a gram sort of thing. Yeah. Which we were getting with the VLF metal detectors. Yeah. But very different experience to Australia. Yeah.
So we'll say good day. Craig's here. Warren, you've said hello. Must be Colleen on the other.
Colleen's logged in as me.
Yeah.
Well, there's another me.
Yes. Well, could we handle two, Warren?
No, couldn't.
No. Cameron, how you going? G'day, Brett. How you going? Sue and Philip. Ops are done. Good, Philip. Get back to Foskey in a couple of weeks. Awesome stuff, mate. Hope you recover really quickly. And Trevor, I think we've said hello to you. David and Nadia are here, g'day. So, Brian asked, what's dry blowing? You've done a little bit of dry blowing in WA or
WA, dry blowing is a technique. It's like it was developed in the United States and Australia in the 1800s when you got narrow gold, you got no water. Particularly places like WA and the Kalgoorlie goldfields, the eastern goldfields, where every drop of water you got to drink or you die.
It's like panning or sluicing without any water.
So it's like winnowing wheat. So originally it started with 2 tin dishes. Yeah. WA, you put 1 tin dish on the ground, you get a bit of your material, all you do is just pour it in the breeze, and it'll blow the fines away, and the heavies will drop into the bottom pan. Yeah. Then you got a dry pan in the bottom. Yeah. But then they developed mechanical dry blowers.
Yeah, and they're like
it's about a shaker sieve. It's like a shaker table. Yeah, it's pretty much a high banker, but it's all dry. Yeah, and there's no shakes. It just shakes and vibrates, and the dust blows away
and creates this dust that you can see.
A dust storm that you wouldn't believe
for miles and miles and miles. It's just incredible.
So I was in WA last year, and they're still dry blowing in WA because it's the most efficient way to get fine gold out of the soil. Yeah. And what they've got, they have a shed full of washing machine motors running, electric motors, and all these dry blowers vibrating, and there'd be 4 or 5 blokes just shoveling dirt into the dry blowers. Yeah. But now they use a mechanical, like a bellows. Yeah, it's like blowing the air through.
Like a compressor.
Because the old timers had to wait for the wind. Yeah. But now you can blow it. You can blow it. Yeah. So they're dry blowing, which is different to wet washing, obviously. When you've got no water.
Yeah. G'day, Brody and Kelly. How are you? Lovely to see you here. So, was there anyone doing any blowing over there?
Not in the field
that you saw.
No. Most of the blokes take the stuff home and do it in the shed.
Oh, okay.
They won't dry blowing in the field.
So, as an aside, we had a question there about taking stuff home.
Okay.
About taking material home.
Yeah.
And you've done some
Yeah,
research.
I've actually read the Queensland Fossicking Act, which I probably did years ago. I won't say I didn't know about it, but
I don't know whether I have.
I don't think anyone ever.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting. We got a really good question a few weeks ago before Christmas. I can't remember who asked about removing pay dirt from an area that you're legally allowed to operate in.
Yep.
So there are instructions in the Queensland Fossicking licence, and I've highlighted a few important ones here. General responsibilities. This is I've got some interesting ones. Some of them are just common sense. Don't cut trees down. But it says you must not clear any vegetation except above an excavation. So if you're excavating in a creek bank and you need to take a bush out,
You can.
that's allowed.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it says on leaving a site, refill all your excavations. Now that would, I assume, that's kind of metal detecting. You're not taking out. If you're only taking out a piece of gold,
No, you fill it back
you
in.
fill it back in. That's that. Now that's not really what we're talking about. There's another one here about we were talking about pollution and using a sluice in the creek.
Yeah.
Someone asked some questions about sluicing.
Yeah.
And the Queensland Fossicking licence says you can sluice in a creek as long as you don't cause any significant turbidity more than 300 metres downstream. So if you're at Warwick and it's just a billabong, you can sluice.
It's
as
just
long
not
as
mechanical.
It's not mechanical.
Not mechanical,
And
that's
if-
just sluicing.
Let's say you're out at Warwick, it's just a billabong.
Yeah.
You're not going to cause any turbidity downstream because it's not flowing.
Yeah.
If you're in a crystal clear rainforest stream somewhere, you're allowed to prospect. I can't think of any, but
Yeah.
as long as you're not...
And it's bright red soil.
And it's bright red
The
soil.
soil.
As long as you're not disturbing the stream 300 metres downstream.
More than 300 metres.
Because I've panned in some of those rainforest creeks, and you get a big plume of... You do get a big plume
Yeah.
in a crystal clear creek.
Yeah.
But 50 metres out, it sediments and drops.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
So that's the one.
So
Like
that's
it
a
clearly
good
says if
300 metres.
300 metres is a long way down the creek.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But the thing about the removing wash, okay, so what it says, on leaving, refill all excavations and place excess material, which means you have to bring dirt in to fill the hole. Replace,
Yes.
it says place excess material so as to minimise disturbance, unless that means any excess mullock, but if you've removed, what's it saying, if you've taken out half a tonne of soil, you can place excess material to replace it to minimise disturbance to the channel and significant stream flow.
So that's actually saying,
You got to, you dig a hole somewhere else and bring.
so that's actually saying that if you're taking 20 litres of wash out, you really need, you need to replace it by
20 litres of material.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happens to the place where you took the. If you've got to dig 20 litres of material from somewhere else,
Yeah.
you've got to replace that too.
Yeah.
Like it's just a bit goes around in a big
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
What I've actually done in the past, I've actually done this where you take, let's say you take 2 20-litre buckets of wash home.
Yeah.
I run them through the rocker box in the backyard where there's plenty of water.
Yeah.
Run them through 3 or 4 times because
Yeah.
everything's inefficient and you miss some. Once you've got all the gold out of the wash, what are you going to do with 2 buckets of gravel in your backyard?
Exactly.
What I do is when I go back, I just take the gravel back,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you know,
Why not? Yeah.
because I don't want all this gravel
Well,
in my lawn. The
not-
lawnmower's going to chop
and
into
you-
it. Yeah. And my backyard's going to be...
Over. You'd need a bigger.
The backyard's 2 metres higher than neighbours. What's going on? You know?
Yeah.
So-
why haven't you flooded and the
Yeah,
neighbours
I know,
have?
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, that just makes common sense to me because unless you're living on a farm where you've got
Yeah.
somewhere to dispose of all this gravel,
Yeah.
because it's going to be gravel and sand, it's not going to be
Yeah.
soil,
Yeah.
take it back.
Yeah. May as well.
You know,
Have a revolving
the
bucket
licence
system.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
a
2.
cable way.
Yeah.
This is mining now, but the fossicking, that's pretty clear in what it says.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I read that to say that you can take wash away as long as you refill the hole in some way.
So, okay. Let's say I found a 20 kilo nugget.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And I dug that out of the ground.
Yeah, and there's a big hole
What do
now.
I refill the ground?
You go
like, you'd have
when
to
you-
go and get...
Go to Bottle and buy some a trailer of gravel and shovel it into the hole.
But that's a logical... Like,
Yeah.
that's a...
Yeah.
You should be...
Because
filling
Borrell's
the hole.
allowed to dig holes, see, they can sell you gravel. We're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, that's another thing in the Fossicking Act, you can't profit from, if you're going dig and wash in a public area, you can't profit from what you're doing. as a commercial,
Yeah.
you know, right?
And but that private commercial
Yeah,
is always a bit of a,
I know.
you know.
Oh, but like if you find a one-off nugget, that's fine. But if you're going out every week to Warwick and processing gravel and selling the gold, that's a commercial operation.
But
I suppose. I don't know.
Well,
It's rubbery.
yeah.
And the other thing it said too in the Prospecting Act,
Excuse me.
royalties to the government don't start till you get to $100,000.
Oh, okay.
So the government, everything under $100,000, you can have it.
No problems.
Once you get over $100,000, obviously you've got to go and tell the mining warden, and they'll take a slice.
So if you find a big nugget,
It's worth over $100,000.
right, you need
There's
to then,
some issue with the Queensland.
and they want
Now every state's going to be similar to that, I would think.
yeah,
I would think.
yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, they've got to have rules and regulations, but the wash thing in the end makes common sense. If you don't want to lay gravel at home, bringing it back.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you've got a ute or a trailer, or you've got it in the back of your Land Rover,
yeah,
just take the bucket back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're doing it every week or every couple of weeks, you have 4 buckets, fill 2 up, take 2 back.
Because if you've got 40 kilos of wash,
it's a lot of wash.
you're not going to get 40 kilos of gold.
No.
So out of that, you might get a few grams of gold.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So
So all the washes can go back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, sorry, that was a bit of a.
Just an
I
aside,
knew you
nothing
told
to do
me.
with Arizona.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
do they
go
do
on.
much detecting in Arizona? Like, is it more just this?
There's blokes
raw
working the gullies. Blokes working the gullies.
digging holes in the gold.
They all use metal detectors because when they get down to the bedrock to find the nuggets, they use the machines.
Oh, okay.
They do all have metal detectors.
Yeah.
And I guess there are.
So why, like, so if they're panning out or dry blowing the gold, or they're taking the wash home, why are they detecting?
Oh, I guess they're not that thoroughly cleaning the bedrock.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they're not dustpan and brush cleaning the bedrock. These are hobbyists like us.
Yeah.
So basically, you got a lease of, I don't know how big it is. Let's say your lease is 100 metres in the bottom of the wash. It's about 2 metres wide, and basically you're excavating all this wash manually.
Yeah.
You mount it on the bank like the old timers. That you take home and process, and then you detect the bedrock.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So you get the pickers and the nuggets out of the bedrock.
Yeah.
But you'll still get we were detecting the piles too, because you're shoveling gold as you're going.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
It's an interesting. It was a lot of fun actually.
Yeah.
And good exercise.
Yeah. Exactly.
But there's some, like I said a bit before about learning stuff. You want to do some questions here?
Oh, in a minute.
Just some of the techniques people use for recovering gold.
Yeah, okay.
What the
so
Americans
let
do.
me just catch Michael. Michael says it sounds like you're saying you can't leave a hole in any way, and that's
You can't,
exactly right. That's
Everything must be left as you found it.
Yeah.
Although they did say you can knock a bush over or something.
Yeah.
But you can't undercut the banks.
Yeah.
You can't redirect the course or affect the stream in any way.
And Michael, the way you've just mentioned that there, you should write the Fosking Act because that's unclear.
It's unclear.
And it's unclear in a heap of different ways.
Yeah, but it's unclear deliberately. So there's all sorts. You get a red hot Queen's councillor.
Yeah,
you go
exactly.
to jail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Malcolm, all the Fosking licences Australia-wide, they're all state-based. So
there's no national system.
Yeah. So if you want to go Fosking in all of them, you need one from all of them.
One for every.
So.
I've got a folder at home with a licence for every state.
Yeah.
You don't need one in South Australia.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of gold in South Australia.
Not. And the other thing is people get confused. If you're looking for coins and relics, you do not need any licence of any description.
Because
It's
you're
only
not Fosking.
No, it's not Fosking.
So what happens is, if this cropped up actually in the shop here early this week. So what happens if you're looking for relics and find
gold? You got to make sure you got a licence in your pocket.
Yeah.
Because you'll get pinged. If you go, if a mines inspector.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of occasions where, not by mines inspector, but I've got another story I can tell you about that.
Yeah.
I've been confronted by people on goldfields saying, "What are you doing looking for gold here?
Yeah.
Or why are you here without permission?" And I'm not looking for gold. I'm looking for relics.
Yeah.
Because I'm in an old camp.
Yeah.
And I got bailed up once in Cooktown quite legally. I knew where I was and I knew what I was doing. I was in public by a crazy woman, basically, asking me what I was doing. And she said, "Oh, you can't be doing this." I said, "Well, I don't need I didn't need any sort of licence or any sort of permit from anybody, the council or the state or the federal government, to look for relics and use a metal detector on the beach or anywhere you want to go."
Yeah.
As soon as you go down to the road of precious opals, gemstones, gold, silver, platinum, topaz, you've got to have a fossicking licence.
Yeah.
And I've never confronted a mines department inspector in Queensland myself, but my brother-in-law was out at Agate Creek digging agates one afternoon, and the mines inspector said, "Just show me your licence," and he didn't have it with him.
Yeah.
So he could have copped a huge fine, but he made the bloke, boiled the billy, made the bloke a cup of tea and give him a couple of scones, and just paid for a licence on the spot.
Yeah.
Which would normally wouldn't happen. You could be fined pretty hard.
Yeah.
I know 2 blokes up in the Palmer last season had their machines confiscated. Yeah. They were GPZ 7000s.
Yeah.
The mines inspector said, "Where's your fossicking? I haven't got one."
Yeah.
He took both machines off them and took them back to Mariba.
Yeah.
They got them back,
Yeah.
but he confiscated them.
But the other thing is too, a lot of that's attitude as well.
Yeah.
Like if you,
it's like a parking ticket bloke.
yeah. If you go, some of these blokes, because they're not like a parking ticket bloke where they have every person every day going, "Go on, let me off."
Yeah.
But like if you're nice
I know.
to these some of these officials, they're normally right.
In the end, though, I mean, you can forget your fossicking licence is expired.
Yeah.
But in the end, there's no excuse. Queensland is the most expensive state to buy a licence. For a family, it's $56 for a year. Okay?
Exactly.
It's $56. It's only $20 in Victoria.
Yeah.
But just cough up the $56. It's just a tax.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't got it, these blokes are like the fisheries department.
Yeah.
They'll just strip you of all your gear.
Exactly.
And you'll end up in court.
And if you're only going for a week, it's like $12.
Yeah.
Like
I know, that's right.
It's not expensive.
And you know, everyone else there's paid their licence. Why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'm not saying people don't, but I know they don't.
Yeah. But so you're not saying people don't, but
you know
but
they don't. I know they do. I don't know.
So and then like WA's $17 for
$20.
$20.
WA's $20 for life. Forever.
Yeah. It's
Or
the
as
old
long as you live.
miner's ride.
It's the old miner's ride.
Yeah.
Victoria's $20 or $25 it might be for 10 years.
Yeah.
Queensland's annually or 3 monthly.
Yeah.
Or if you're going out with a group of mates and it's not a family, you can actually buy a group licence.
Yeah.
I think you did that at Warwick when we went out there.
Yeah. Well, actually, I bought a commercial
Commercial.
licence. There's a commercial licence. Okay. So as if you're
well, actually, as a bunch of mates, you might have to buy individual ones.
No, I think there's a group.
Unless you just see you're all brothers. And,
yeah. I think there's a group one as well, sort of thing.
Okay.
So, I was going to say something then, but I've clean forgotten.
Okay, well, I'll go back to what I was... You're going to ask...
Yeah, no, well, there's some questions here. Oh, yeah, Nicole, reminded me. So, my licence, I paid, like I did it online, and they emailed me my licence on the phone, and I just saved my licence on the phone, so I had it with me. I didn't even print it out. Yeah. It's on my phone.
Well, I'll tell you what I do, because I'm pretty anal. I print the licence and I do the same as you. You got an email saying you've got a licence. So if you get pinged by the inspector, okay, look, I'm all geared up.
Yeah.
What I do, I've got just a plastic sleeve with an A4 sheet of paper.
Yeah.
And I print on it. I type it up at home, and I've got fossicking licence and so.
Yeah.
I don't put my name on it. UHF Channel 9, and I put it in the windscreen of the Land Rover because I'm not there.
Yeah.
If the mines inspector comes along and says, "Who's this bloke? What's his car?" He can call UHF Channel 9 and say, "I'm back at your car. I want to see your licence."
Yeah.
But that way, I'm displaying the fact that I have got a licence.
Yeah. And if the mining inspector did walk past and see a fossicking licence number, he looked the number up and say it's current. Well, I'm not going to. Why drag the bloke out of the bush?
Even better point.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
But you're right. He can just look up his whatever iPad or something.
Yeah.
And say, okay, this is a current licence. He's all good.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy to comply with these. There's not much to do.
Yeah. What do the licences cost in Tassie, Geordie?
Tassie's a good question.
I think it's about $35 or something like that a year, but don't quote me on that.
It's on the Department of Mines website.
Yeah.
Just Google them.
And then Trevor's written to the local member about the cost of the Queensland licence.
Good.
And how we're more restricted in other states. Yeah, absolutely.
Because we can't even go into state forest. You can't
even
walk into a state forest in Queensland.
Yeah.
You've got fences around them. What's going on with that?
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it?
Like Victoria, you can go and sleep in there. You can camp in it with your family. It's we all own that state forest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's ours.
And there's some associations that, if you're very keen on that, particularly to move that forward, I know there's a bit of momentum gathering in Queensland at the moment.
There is.
And there's a couple of...
it's got to be a political thing, though, I guess.
Absolutely, and it's got to be the local members, and it's got to be... it's got to be approached in the right way with the association, so there's a group and signatures beside it and all that sort of thing. So,
North Queensland, I mean, Bob Catter has got most of North Queensland, but wherever, most of those politicians are cattlemen or they're landholders, and they're pretty sympathetic to people wanting to use the land. But not in, I mean, the capital cities and the big regional centres, not so much. So it's a local political thing. You just got to get the Queensland government move. I don't understand why they lock up state forests.
I mean, let's go back 5 or 6 years and give them credit where it's due. 5 or 6 years ago in southeast Queensland, we had Thames Creek, which is about 2 acres or 2 hectares
two
or
blocks
something.
of land.
It's a ridiculous. So they did open 13,000 hectares out at Warwick. But we hoped that was the start of a rolling, let's open this and open this, but it just stopped at that.
Well, see, I think like Claremont's GPAs are Claremont Regional Council GPAs.
They're council.
So obviously the Regional Council has the power. They tax you to go in there, but that's fine. The regional councils have the power to set aside land in gold and mineral fields for public fossicking. And I know that at Claremont, I believe there's another 9 GPAs that they've never opened. That are available. There's been a lot of push around Charters Towers to get that opened up because there's a lot of gold around Charters Towers. That big nugget came out of there just before Christmas. 57, what was it, 57 ounces or something? What was it? Anyway.
Something popped up today that I think it was 100 ounces. Not
really?
100 ounces.
It come from the towers, I think.
$170,000.
No, that'll be it. That's the one.
Is that the one?
That's the one that was found just before Christmas. So towers, but around the towers there's no public access anywhere. Unless you know a cattle station owner. And there's lots of old ghost towns too I'd love to get to, but massive ones, but I've never even been able to get near them because they're all locked up. Which is fine. But, you know.
There you go. Tassie fossicking loan, 31 per year, renewed last week. Thanks, Brody. So Geordie, $31 it'll cost you a year.
Still, it's half of Queensland.
And it's still not that one.
Just do it.
So
just do it.
Right. Arizona. We
gets
on
back to
Arizona.
What I was saying earlier on about techniques. You learn little things from people. All the prospectors have 2 nugget scoops, and they do double nugget scooping.
Oh, really?
You know how we're all out there and we're going one in your hand back, and they just scoop the scoop, and it's a really quick technique to recover gold.
It makes sense.
You know, here it go plop when it hits the scoop. It's in that one, and you're just waving one scoop over the detector core, chucking the other one out.
Makes absolute sense.
Absolutely awesome. I've got a bit of.
And then what's that on those? What's that on that?
Oh, okay. That's the whole point of bringing this, and I didn't show you. This is a US. It's a really good quality nugget scoop. It's quite thick. Great for, like, you can actually dig with this because it's so heavy. But it's got 2 little riffles in it. I don't know if you can see them there.
We can
what a
see
great
that.
idea. So you've got down to your little material, and you can just basically like dry sluice your gold, and the gold will sit there, and all the dirt will run out.
That's clever, isn't it?
It's just a clever bit of gear. Hang it on your belt, and they've got 2 of them all the time.
We might see if we can get those.
I don't know if it's got a brand. It'll have a brand on it, but it's a solid bit of gear. Like that's a really hard. It's a good digging scoop.
The brand was here. You've dropped it.
No. I etched this. No, I didn't. This is another bit of gear from US. I mean, the quality of equipment, anything made in America or Australia is top notch. You look at your Australian Walco picks, your CC picks.
Those CC picks are unbeatable.
They're the best bit of gear.
I don't know about the Wacos. I haven't used Wacos.
Walcos.
Walcos,
I've always used Walcos. I've got a couple of CCs. You go to Bunnings and buy a Chinese shovel or a pick, you know what's going to happen. Anything that's made in Australia or the US, old-fashioned way, is just the best quality. You're going to pay more for it, but who cares? I want to pay more for it.
Exactly.
Plus an Aussie's got a job doing it.
Exactly.
Haven't I settled that? This isn't Australia. This is in America. This is an example of what they're using. This is a pretty useful bit of gear. One issue is it's got a timber handle, so I had to declare it at customs, but they weren't concerned about the timber. For that size, it's a really well-weighted, it's a heavy pick, but it's compact, and it's easy to carry around. And they've gone mad with the rare earth magnets. They've got one on the top, and they've got 2 on the bottom face. So, trashy iron areas, you go anywhere near a bit of iron, you're basically cleaning up the ground as you
Oh,
detect
so
it.
they're using that as the whole thing as a magnet with the
Oh, well, it pretty much magnetises the pick.
pick.
So you just drag it through the ground and bam, it's covered in ironstone.
Wow.
And you
That's
can feel
clever.
it. Yeah, it's a good 3 rare earth magnets. I thought, geez, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
But it's a good bit of gear.
Yeah. See, I don't like them on the top here
No.
because I tend to find I put my arm on it when I'm
Yeah,
detecting.
I heard you say,
And it
it's like an
drives
arm,
up.
you got it on a good, if you got it in a good holder,
Yeah.
it's a good armrest
Yeah.
to wander around with.
Whereas you get a bit of rock on the magnet,
Yeah,
it's
and
like
you're
grinds
ripping your arm
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
So that's a good.
But that's clever. The
Yeah, it
magnets
is.
underneath.
So you got 3 rare earth magnets.
Yeah.
It's a quality bit of gear.
Yeah.
And look at the pouch. This is another bit of gear it's got a proper military spec webbing
Yep.
and a clip to put on your belt.
Yep. Yeah, that's
That's a good bit of gear. That.
yeah.
That's
That's
going to
awesome.
last a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Another bit.
Right.
Yeah, go on.
No,
Let's
no,
have some
what-
questions. No, this is not really gold prospecting here, but
No, we'll
Okay,
keep going.
this bit of gear here.
Yeah, what's this?
Okay,
what's
this flash looking. As you can see, I haven't used it. Generally, I don't do a lot of park detecting, but if you've got to cut plugs or you're in
Yeah,
moist or reasonably soft ground,
yeah,
you can use those little leash tools, a little Garrett edge digger.
Yeah, yeah.
But like parts of Brisbane here, it's black soil. It's like concrete.
yeah,
So I was looking at getting the Predator tools.
yeah,
I actually asked you about them, and
yeah,
these kind of digging tools. This is what they use in the US everywhere. This one here is actually made in Kansas by my mates Tim and George. They get it made at what they call a trailer hitch company. So it's just something like ARB or TJM.
Yeah.
He went and saw them. He said, "This is what we want you to build," and they're building these things for him.
yeah.
It's an awesome bit of gear. It's got these cutting edges for cutting through roots if you're in a,
Yep.
in the forest or something. You can
They-
dig a good neat plug.
They haven't got an edge on it. It's not real sharp, but I suppose
No,
you
but
can
it's
put
saw.
an edge.
It's just like a saw. You
Saw,
can put an
yeah.
edge on it. You've got a boot grip here so your boots don't slip off the
Yep.
top when you're pushing it. Really good feature. It's got 2 beer bottle openers. Look at that.
Oh,
That's thinking, isn't it? So it's one bit of gear that opens your beer and digs a hole.
yeah.
But like here in Brisbane or any of the southern areas where you've got moist ground, digging the plug with that's so easy.
It's only the Americans that would put a bottle opener on it.
Well, I think an Aussie would do it too, but
Yeah,
right,
well,
it's-
no, we wouldn't even think about it.
No, I wouldn't think
No,
it.
no.
So it's a multi-tool. It's got, and you can open 2 beers at once. I mean, that's pretty
That's
awesome.
very flash, isn't it?
No, so that's a good bit of gear, that.
It looks heavy duty, like it looks.
It's heavy
the
duty.
welds and the support in here.
This one is, we've got to go old school, it's 31 inches. They make a longer one too for you, if you're taller or you want to
Yeah.
have a bit of kit.
Yeah,
But the smart thing about the 31 inches, it fits exactly diagonally across a maximum size airline suitcase. So you can take it on the plane with you if you're travelling
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah,
You've got to
yeah.
pack that in you're not going to take that carry on, obviously, you
Yeah.
get arrested. But so you can fit that in your suitcase,
yep,
and it goes diagonally across a standard luggage,
Yeah.
piece of luggage.
yep.
A lot of thinking went
That's-
into that, particularly the bottle openers.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
sweet.
No,
Yeah,
it's a good bit of gear.
yeah.
But I mean, that's just a sort of different equipment. I mean, you're not going to use that in some of our arid areas. You wouldn't get it in the ground.
No.
You've got to
You
use a heavy pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian makes a good point. An Aussie would have the can opener on the handle, so you didn't have to.
True.
Yeah,
You don't have to bend
absolutely.
over.
Yeah.
You've got to go all the way down here to open your beer.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a
yeah.
bit inconvenient.
Nicole Brett would love a shovel with a bottle opener on it. Yeah, you're dead right there.
Yeah.
So, Daniel asked a question. G'day, Daniel. How are you? Good place around Warwick to go and find nuggets. Well, if you just go online and look at look for Queensland fossicking areas, and
The maps are all on there, aren't
the maps are on there for Talgai and Jurakai State Forest. So that's probably a good bet. And then
They're not really well signposted out there, though, are they?
no, they're not. No. So
You got to turn to the hubcap.
yeah.
Hubcap
So
gate.
to go into Jurakai, it's quite hard to explain. But when you hit the state forest, you turn in the first gate. It's called the hubcap gate for a very technical reason. There's a hubcap on the gate. But Daniel, if you want some more information on that, just give me a shout. Hit me up on Facebook or something, and I can send you the links to those, the maps and what have you.
Yeah.
Give you some tips about that. So, yes.
So that's Queensland Department of Mines
Mines
and
Department.
Energies.
Yep. So, right. So, what else you got over there?
I got a rock.
Oh, good.
This is just in case we ran out of things to talk about, so clearly we're down to the rock.
No. I'm interested in the rock.
No, the
it's
rock is
bloody
interesting.
heavy.
This isn't from America. This is from Flat Creek Station up in Central Cape York. All these things we talk about how to detect and where to go and look for gold. You know, where to look. A good way to start is in the creek.
Yep.
But I never hardly ever detect in creeks because everyone does the same thing.
Yep.
I was running down this creek one day with an ATX with a standard coil, and I got this screaming signal, and I dug this rock. As you can see, I've chipped the edges.
Just to make sure it wasn't gold.
To make sure it wasn't gold. I dug this red rock out of it.
It feels that heavy.
It's so heavy. I can't explain that on how heavy that is. It is enormously heavy, super dense, really high specific gravity. I dug 2 rocks about this size out of the ground, and they were bright, they were red, covered in ironstone. I thought, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
I said to Colin, look at that, that's got to be gold. There's nothing else is that heavy. Took it back to the camp, couldn't see any gold on it, washed it, no, there's no gold.
Hit it with a hammer.
In the end, I hit it with a hammer, as you do. And we got this, it's oxidised a little bit now, but it's bright silver. And I had a geologist look at it, and what it is, it's galena, which is native lead.
Yeah. It's very heavy.
It is super heavy,
Yeah.
and it gives us a massive signal to the metal detector. And the geologist said to me, it is really unusual to find 2 native lead specimens of that size where I found them.
Yeah.
Because I've never pinged a piece of native lead like that before, but that is incredibly heavy.
Yeah.
I was confident that was like ounces of gold in it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't think of what else would be that heavy.
Yeah.
But it's native lead, so it's got some traces of native silver and pyrites, but it's just almost pure lead ore.
Yeah.
So
That's very cool, that.
Yeah, it's
because
a cool
it weighs. It's amazing.
You've dropped that in someone's hand, and they're really surprised.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the kind of target you could find metal detecting.
Yeah. Is it worth anything?
Look, to a mineral collector, it probably is.
Yeah, it probably
is.
Yeah.
Because it's not such a common occurrence to find native. It's a very pure specimen.
Yeah.
I don't know. That probably weighs 3 or 4 kilos. It's
Yeah.
pretty heavy.
It's very, very heavy.
Super dense.
Yeah. G'day, Peter. How are you? Henny's here. Henny went to Jurakai. Haven't found any gold yet.
You will.
You will. It's time, patience. Go where other people don't go. Is probably the best tip out there because it's pretty heavily. You know, on a nice weekend, a mid-temperature weekend, it's
like Queen Street Mall.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. So go where you're finding. If you're going detecting, go where you're finding lots of bullets. Because areas that have been detected won't have any bullets in them, people have picked them up.
And I don't know what machine you got, but just work to the advantages of your machine.
Yeah.
So and your coil.
Yeah.
Like look for shallow ground if you've got a small coil.
Yep.
Now you're detecting deep topsoil, you're not going to find gold.
Yeah. And also, Henny, I would be digging any repeat. If you're using a VLF machine, dig any repeatable target. Dig all until you get really to an understanding of what's going on out there, because some of those machines will give you a sound but not a target ID. So if you're walking over those, you're probably missing some.
Yeah.
Particularly the smaller pieces, and there's a lot of smaller pieces out there. So.
And that's right, and it's like you said, just repeatable signals because often grounds you get a smashing signal one direction and the other way is nothing at all. That's not going to be a metal target. It'll be ground.
Yeah, Henny's on a 4500, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you won't have any trouble with ground noise then.
Yeah.
It'll be just stay on top of your ground balancing.
Yeah. And get off the beaten path. Because there's so many people going to the same places.
That 4500, I'd put a Sadie coil or something on that, a small coil.
Yeah.
The Sadies are just awesome coils.
Yeah, to pick up the
small gold, because it's only tiny gold. You don't want to be running around with a 25-inch coil out there.
No.
If there's such a thing. Big. I know big. You think a big coil going deep, you get big gold, but you're better off looking for the small gold, which will lead you to the big gold, I reckon.
Yeah, because you get a patch.
You'll get a patch.
And then you put a different coil on it.
Keep changing coils and changing your hat and changing your underwear.
And wet days.
Wet days.
Yep.
Cold days. Hot days.
Actually, Craig and I don't know whether you saw the show with Craig and I on, but
I did.
We talked a little bit about what happens on a wet day compared to a dry day.
Yeah.
he's actually done a stack of research, and on his Facebook page, his Facebook group, he's actually posted a study that he's found to find, and it proves that it does amplify,
for sure.
which we sort of all knew.
Because the moisture, particularly on a pulse machine, that's why pulse goes so much deeper than the beach. At the beach, like pulse at the beach is awesome.
Yep.
Goes so much deeper at a beach than it does in the goldfields because wet salt attenuates the pulse incredibly.
Yeah.
But if you're going into bone-dry, hot ground, the pulse still works, but it's not going as deep as if it's just rained.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I say you get a thunderstorm in a place like Warwick or anywhere in the goldfields, if the water runs off quick, there's not much moisture in the soil. But if you get a prolonged period of,
Steady
2 or 3
rain,
wet days, it makes, even on relics on a VL, if you notice the depth, the machine just punches through it because the signal's being attenuated by the moisture in the soil.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the beach that happens all the time because the beach is wet most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't sort of dry up out there.
So Brian's asked a question that I've got no idea about, but it'd be interesting to look at. Per head of population, do you reckon USA has more detectors than Australia? I would think Australia would have more, wouldn't you?
The huge... Okay, so look at the two countries. They're the same size, for all intents and purposes, geographically.
Yeah. A few more people over there.
They've got 14 times the population we've got. We've got 24 million, they've got 380 million or something. Predominantly Americans look for relics.
Yeah,
predominantly. They're right into relics, Civil War relics, because Civil War relics could be worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that in a minute when we get to the ghost town part of this story, but we don't have time tonight. What's the time?
We could chat all night here.
So Brian, good question. Okay, so the Americans are mad on relics. And everywhere you go in America, you see someone metal detecting. Parks, they're flogged to hell.
Oh, really?
Flogged to hell.
Yeah.
In Australia, because there's less of us and the country's the same size, you don't see as many of us. But of course, gold is the big deal here, not so much the relics.
Yeah, but there's not as much.
Relics is growing a lot over the last 10 years, but so the Americans are mad on relics, and there's a lot of metal detectors, some big clubs and rallies in America.
Yep.
Australia, we tend to be lone wolves. You might have some metal. There are some decent metal detecting clubs, but a lot of lone wolves running around because it's gold.
Yeah.
You don't want to take 20 mates to your patch.
Yeah, exactly. And instead of getting $70 worth of gold, you've got to share it with 6 of your mates.
Yeah, like what happened when you found that patch and I took the gold.
Let's not talk about that. I haven't quite got over that.
But so, that's a good question. I don't know the answer, but there's a lot of relic hunters in America, whereas we're slewed to the gold hunting.
Yeah. I'm probably thinking it'd be even.
I think
it'd be
right.
Pretty even.
I think it'd be pretty similar based on per capita because the countries are roughly the same wealth.
Yeah.
Same lifestyle, same mindset.
Yeah.
It's different in a place where you're not allowed a metal detector or there's a civil war going on.
Yeah.
But they've got disposable incomes similar to ours. Their incomes aren't as high, but their goods are cheaper.
Yeah.
So you'd find that an American family running around metal detecting or camping is just like an Australian family running around metal detecting and camping. Our dollar numbers are bigger, but...
Right. Hello, Evan. How are you, mate? You're a bit late, but you can watch the replay after the show,
were too.
of course. Yeah, we were a bit late too. Not as late as you, but, just, want to point that out, Peter spent all day on the beach and found nothing. On the way back, I just had a quick go on the track to the beach and found $2.60. Well, I'm glad you didn't come out empty-handed, Peter. Try low tide and get as low as you can, Peter. Would be my tips there. Central Queensland's kicking off a club, so there'll be some more activity up there. Yeah, I think...
Whereabouts is it?
I think Justin's pushing that a little bit.
Okay.
There's a few people up there I've been talking to.
What, in Claremont?
Around that sort of area. But also a relic, it's a combined club, relic and gold club sort of thing. So that's exciting news.
There's a good club, it's a good, strong and quite old club in Townsville.
Yeah.
There was one in Cairns many years ago that George used to be involved in, and people were asking me to start a club, but I'm not a club sort of person.
You're a lone wolf.
I'm a lone wolf.
Like out there.
No, but the thing is, we get asked a lot, will you take us on relic tours or World War II tours? You could do that, but there's all, like we've discussed, there's all insurance issues. But the other thing is too, I'm taking you to a finite resource that I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, gold is different because gold fields are large and you can find gold in a lot of places, but relic camps and old towns are distinct geographic dimensions, and at some point it's going to be nearly all gone. You'll never get it all, but you know what I mean. You're all concentrating on one little area.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? This is. We almost need a site where we can have a big rally, where there's a World War II site or something like that, and we could just go.
Well, that's what they should have done at Camp Cable. You and Craig were talking about
that.
The damn thing's going to be under concrete.
Yep.
Why didn't they, if they've given us 6 months and say, look, it's open slather, developers are coming in with the bulldozers, even if the stuff went to a Queensland museum,
absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's more about getting together, meeting some people.
Save all this gear, we'll all do what we want to do, and we'll have a great time doing it.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the same thing about those fossils.
Yeah.
Right? That's all going to be covered up.
Yeah, I know.
Concrete over the top.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's this a photo of?
That's a lithium ore processing mill. It's a gravity mill, like you'd see anywhere in Australia here. So that area, that was only a couple of miles from where we went prospecting for gold. So just like here, gold fields don't just produce gold. There's all sorts of byproduct. And so that lithium mill was built in the 1950s. Interesting thing about that mill, you might be able to pick it up in that photo, most of it's made out of World War II aircraft runway matting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the Pacific War.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so a couple of mates have come back from the war.
Is that gritty stuff?
Yeah, the grid stuff.
Where
the grid stuff.
No,
hang on.
like there. Where I'm pointing.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
That stuff there is all World War II airstrip matting from the war.
Wow.
We find that in North Queensland up on the Cape on the old airstrip.
That's awesome.
But so I'd say it's a couple of old veterans have come back and they built that in the early 50s.
Yeah.
So what it did, they dumped the ore in the top.
Yeah.
And there was 3 grading chutes and it went into 3 grades of ore. And then they just trucked it back out down the wash.
Yeah. Yeah. So these would be the grading chutes. Let me see if I can get it here. These would be the grading chutes.
That's right.
Over here somewhere.
Yep.
Like,
that's similar to all sorts of process gravity mills that you find in Australia.
Yeah.
And we've got lots of those things that are still.
Is this the same? Is this the same plant?
That's the same place.
Yeah.
It's they've put a lot of work into it. It always fascinates me how miners put so much work into.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Getting a bit of. Obviously, lithium was a. I think they use it. Well, they use it in batteries, but I don't know what they do in the 50s. The same, I suppose.
Yeah.
Valuable ore.
Yeah.
But the mine was worked out, and that's been abandoned.
Yeah. And then, a lot of people. Snow. What's it like detecting in the snow? Is the
friggin' cold. Well, that was above 5,000 feet. It only snowed for a couple of days, so it wasn't enough to freeze the ground.
So the ground was still open. So
if the temperature, because it was below zero all day.
Colleen.
That's Colleen. That's the sort of gear. Imagine wearing that at Warwick.
Oh.
That's the sort of gear you're in the snow.
How ridiculous to think that you're detecting like that.
I know. It's just an alien environment.
Yeah.
But that was an old ghost town called McCabe in northern Arizona.
Yeah.
They mined the gold out of there in the 1890s. And
Here we go.
Yeah, that was us in the snow.
Yep. Colleen looks much colder than you, though.
She was suffering. I just went hard. I thought, I'm not going to have this opportunity to do this again.
Yep.
Up and down hills and getting scratched and tripping over and falling down holes.
And good to see a bit of Ozcam there.
Yeah, Ozcam. Yeah. We both matched each other.
Yeah.
So what they did, they mined that town in the 1890s, typical of what you'd see here, the relics. Unlike a lot of these Australian towns, because they were so remote, our ghost towns, not just for gold, they built big smelters and mills on site and they processed the ore there.
Yeah.
The Americans didn't so much do that, they trucked it out to a town.
Yeah.
Whereas they've got more towns and they're less remote ground.
Yeah.
But the old place is a good example of what Brian asked about how many detectors that have been flogged to hell.
Yeah.
We had probably 7 of us in there with the detectors. We didn't find one single coin. We found a lot of relics, but not one coin. So someone had
cleaned out.
Someone had cherry picked all the high-tone targets.
Yeah.
I got the award of the day for the best piece, which was a cane top, which was brass. It was a beautiful bit of gilt brass off a riding crop or a cane.
Yeah.
We got a lot of clock parts, a lot of shoddy shells, which were all dated around 1902 to 1910.
Yeah.
But it was a good example of an American ghost town where access is easy.
Yeah.
You got a big population.
Yeah.
And lots of metal detectors.
Yeah.
Australia, you're not guaranteed anything, but if you can go to an old camp or a ghost town, if you persist, you'll probably find a lot of good relics.
Yeah.
Because it's
and
not
coins.
so hard. And coins.
Yeah.
Because it's not so hard hit.
Yeah.
Big different picture in America. There's just people everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go out in the bush and be alone and get away from, like, there's a lot of open ground in America.
Yeah.
But
Not a lot there.
there's not a lot there, and there's so many people.
Yeah. And so this looks like it's back in Arizona, this picture.
That's in the wash. It was called, can't remember the name of the wash. It's got a name. Anyway, so Jim, the bloke in the centre, he was the owner of the lease. We've got Steve Moore from Garrett. We've got Tim and Carlotta. Tim's famous from the Diggers show on TV. Joey Wilson there on the right in the snow camp.
Yeah.
We actually filmed an episode of his TV show. He's got a TV show in California called Adventures in Prospecting.
Yeah.
So we filmed an episode of that while we were there.
Oh, really?
He's got I went prospecting with him about 4 or 5 years ago up in the Feather River in California.
Yeah.
And he's got a channel. The thing is about America, because once again there's so many people, you got a lot of local cable TV networks.
Yep.
So like here, you'd be in Browns Plains and you'd be on local TV, which you wouldn't pick up in Brisbane.
Oh, okay.
And it'd just be a local TV network, and he's got a TV show that does Northern California.
Yeah.
It's not on the networks.
Yeah.
It's cable.
Yeah.
But there's lots and lots of that stuff in America.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. It looks like a good fun group. Now, we're back now, I'm going to ask a question about a bloke here in this next photo.
Yeah.
Right? We're back in the snow here,
back in the snow.
behind the scenes. But that fella above your head there.
He's a legend in American.
That's a great beard.
Woody Wampler, his name is.
What's his name?
Woody Wampler.
Wampler.
Woody Wampler's a bit of a local legend. He's 68 years old and he's an old gold prospector. But they did a TV series there called...
Woody Wampler.
Yeah. Joey actually said to him, is your name actually Woody Wampler? But it is. Yeah. He's an old-time prospector, the old hard rock prospector. The bloke in the middle, he's from the local historical society, so he knew all about the town.
Yeah.
But Woody he's a bit of a local celebrity because he was on their local TV, legend of the Arizona something mountains or something.
Yeah.
Looking for gold.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of a celebrity.
He's a TV star, movie star.
He's a movie star.
Like yourself.
Well, he's bigger than I am. In Dewey, Humboldt is huge.
What?
That's the town, Dewey, Humboldt.
Dewey, Humboldt.
So actually it was interesting where we stood there. You could look down the valley and you could see the old smelter from the 1890s is in ruins down in the valley in town.
Oh,
the big chimney's still there.
Yeah.
So that's where they trucked the ore down. Or they might have had an aerial ropeway. I'm not sure how they got the ore down there.
Yeah.
No one seems to know.
Yeah.
But, as you'd imagine, very similar mining techniques to Australia. Because it's all the same technology.
Yeah.
And there's Aussies there and there's Americans here from the gold rush.
Yeah. And a lot of people were doing that, transferring between countries.
Running.
The Gympie's broken out, and the Americans that had arrived.
I mean, an Aussie likes a good punch-up, and I was reading the other day about, during the US Civil War, this has got nothing to do with relic hunting. Well, actually, it might have. We were talking about the Madagascar the other day. So during the American Civil War, a Confederate Navy frigate comes into Melbourne. It wasn't the Shenandoah. What was her name?
I don't know. It's your story.
I'll make a name up. I'll think of it.
Here we go. We'll make it. We'll...
So this frigate comes into Melbourne in 1862 or something, the height of the American Civil War.
Right.
What's going on then is, because there's two Americas, in Melbourne there's a US embassy and there's a CS embassy.
Really?
So what happens is, Aussies love an underdog. They're all going for the Confederates, because didn't matter in Australia what they were fighting over, was about slaves or whatever. Just this bloke, you're pushing this bloke around. So what happened was, they had a big civil reception for the captain and the crew with the Victorian governor at the CS embassy. The US embassy going, what's going on here? Like, they just got left right out of it. But the funny thing was, the ship recruited 41 Aussies as sailors to sail off with the Confederate Navy, because they just wanted to go and fight some Americans.
Really?
Like, this is crazy. So it was a commerce raider. And she was in the Pacific sinking US cargo ships. But there's 41 Aussies on board. What's going on with that?
So that's awesome, isn't it?
So there's actually, in America, there's actually There's a list of these 41 Australians who are veterans of the US Civil War.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you? We might have to read.
Yeah, it's a great story. Damn, I can't think of the name of the ship now.
Yeah.
It wasn't Shenandoah, but it was the CSS something, obviously. But it was a gun frigate. Yeah, she sailed into Melbourne. She'd been commerce raiding in the Pacific, shooting up American warships.
Yep.
She had a bit of damage, needed a bit of water and food, so she pulls into Melbourne. And like the US Embassy's going, what's going on with this? You can't be... And the Aussies are all going, oh, come in boys, have a drink, we'll fill you up. And then 41 Aussies get on board and go with them. It's just crazy.
Typical Aussies think, oh, well,
yeah,
nothing's happening
we'll have
here.
a crack at this, what's going on?
Bit of fun here.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
But I think she was... I don't know if she sunk or captured eventually. I don't know what happened to the Aussies. They might have been prisoners of war in the US.
Could have been.
I'll have to research that.
Yeah.
It's just a great story.
Yeah. There's so many of those little stories.
Oh, well, the other
little
thing,
snippet.
And the US Civil War affected Australia in so many ways. The cotton industry in Australia didn't exist in 1860.
Oh, so no cotton.
No cotton. So what happened? And it's huge in Australia now, as you know.
Yeah.
So in 1860, all the big linen mills in England, where there was the world capital of linen, were getting all their cotton from the south of the US.
Yeah.
The war starts, the cotton supply cuts off.
Yeah.
So London says to Queensland, you better start growing us some cotton, we've got none around here. So they were growing it out around Ipswich. There were big cotton farms out there. Yeah. And they were providing, so what happened was the impact of the US Civil War was they were growing cotton in Brisbane.
Australia got a cotton
industry and it never stopped.
Yeah.
So I think we're just about the second biggest compared to the Yanks now anyway.
Yeah, I would think so.
So the US Civil War had a huge impact on, apart from the 41 Aussies who went off and had a bit of a stoush, we grew a bit of cotton.
Yeah.
Amazing, like that was a global economy 145 or whatever years ago it was.
Yeah. Brian makes a good point. We were talking about someone wanted to start a club.
Yeah.
The only requirement is you got to wear a hat.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't take a hat off.
Condition of entry.
Yeah, condition of
can't
entry.
take your hat off, ever.
G'day Craig, Craig's here, Terry's here, Alison's here. If you're coming on late, Sean's here as well. Sean's got a gold crusher on his, the uncle's got a gold crusher on his property.
Or an old stamper battery or something.
Yeah, have to get out there, it's 1800s circuit, so you need a detector, Sean, there'll be...
Yeah.
Oh, actually, if it hasn't been touched in years, go and scratch out the gravel that's still in the stamper.
Put the gravel through something
and pan it, yeah. It'll be...
Or flatten the, if it's not heritage listed, don't touch the stamper battery, but flatten the mullock heaps. And
any heaps and, push them over with a tractor or a dozer or something other and detect them, so... Yeah. So, what do we got? Brian doesn't want us to stop.
Okay, well, we're not going to.
What?
We've got more to talk about. What is it time to stop?
Oh, well, we've been going an hour, but we don't have to stop. Yeah.
Okay.
We
had more to talk about, but we can...
we can talk. We can go another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I suppose.
You got any...
We'll run into overtime.
As a
golden point.
As an apology for starting a couple of minutes late. Peter found some tiny specks of gold in a stormwater drain. Now I'm not sure where to look. Should I just keep walking the water or move up the hill a bit, or at the top and work my way down? Peter, I'd work up the creek until you ran out of gold.
Yep.
Right.
And then go left or right.
And then go left or right. So as you go up the creek, you're going up the creek, and then there'll be a point where it'll stop. Right, or it'll change. It'll get less, and you normally then, as you're going up the creek, I'm off the screen here, but as you're going up the creek, it'll be up the source of it will be up the gully somewhere.
That's right.
Up the hill somewhere.
Could be a little quartz stringer shredding gold.
So keep working up, and then good fun. The stormwater drains, particularly crossing creeks and that sort of thing, act as a natural riffle. Yeah. So you'll find gold in there, no trouble at all. So
go up. You've got to chase it up the hill.
Up the hill, follow it where it goes. So, Reese is here. G'day, Reese. Thanks for that. Alison, I wanted to ask you guys, do you think you would find any volcano site? Well,
what are we looking for in volcanoes?
Well, gold. It's highly mineralised areas, particularly in around the edges of it, where in that transition zone would be good.
You've got to avoid your deep lava flow. It's going to shot a bit of lava out for a while. Yeah. But you've got to, like Ben says, because you've got that thermal activity, that's where gold's going to be.
Absolutely. And then, not only that, some of those old volcanic plugs, well, that's what they're mining in South Africa for the diamonds. So
Exactly.
you find a lot of gemstones in that sort of
Well,
area.
Central Cape, where, like Flat Creek, like the Etheridge goldfield in Central Cape
Yep.
is west of the Undara lava field.
Yep.
And if you've ever heard of the Undara lava tubes, they're the longest lava tubes in the world. They're the longest lava flows, like the Undara crater, which is near the goldfield. Anyway, all that lava flowed west.
Yep.
And it flowed down all those creeks and gullies, and the gold's at the end of it.
Yep. Pushed along.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's scoured the ground and
Yeah. So like areas of high mineralisation or high levels of volcanic activity, I like, and then I like looking at the transition zones.
Absolutely.
Where the lava stops and or the ground changes colour. I love the ground changing colour.
You found that rock at Warwick, which was actually the contact zone. It was country rock with a bit of reef stuck on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That contact zone, red hot.
That's exactly where you want to be. So it's exactly the same thing, whether it's a volcano or a tectonic plate shift where you got different levels and that sort of thing. So Daniel here asked how much for an ATX, any good around power lines. Killer around the power lines. I think a standard, a one coil ATX is about just under $4,000 at the moment.
You
something
can physically
like that.
detect. You can go under the power lines. Physically.
Not affected by power lines at all. Most pulse induction machines, you can't really work with them about
ATX
50 metres of the power
along
line.
the fence lines, barbed wire fences.
Yeah.
Normally you can't put a pulse under a fence because it attenuates EMI.
Yeah.
ATX you can detect under the wire and the fence.
Yeah. So Daniel, I'm just rereading this again. Do you mean ATX or do you mean AT Pro? Because they're both a little different how they work. But the AT Pro will work fine under the power lines. It will be affected by power lines a little, but not dramatically at all. So you should be right. So Glasshouse Mountains in Queensland, they're volcanic.
Yeah, they're plugs.
Yeah. So that's
I think that's given that it's a rich it's rich volcanic soil. I think that might be pretty deep.
Yeah, that's probably
because they're growing pineapples and ginger and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a really rich agricultural area because that's soil.
So the other thing with the volcano thing, like we've just got into, is that the ground around that is seems to me, off the top of my head, very, very deep.
Yep.
So you wouldn't be able to get to the heavies, and when we're talking heavies, we're talking gold, gemstones, diamonds, all that stuff we were talking about a minute ago.
Yeah.
It's heavy, so it's sitting on the bedrock or close to the bedrock or a clay layer or something like that, so you probably can't reach it, is the issue.
That's right, because there's so much gold you're never going to be found because it's buried so deep in the earth's crust.
Well, I think that so Warwick's got good gold, Gympie's got good gold, right? There's patches. There's patches all the way
and it
along
runs
the
right
range.
down to northern New South Wales, Ebor and Nundle in the back of the ranges there.
So what's to say that the inner downs isn't all gold bearing as well?
Yeah.
Exactly the same,
Like
but it's just deep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's it's
because that's such all that rich. The downs are just massive agriculture.
It could be all sitting 300 feet down.
For sure.
And
See up at Stanthorpe, because it's so high, that's where you get the gemstones because I guess it's weathered the top of it.
Yeah.
Like you're saying.
Yeah.
Down around Toowoomba and the ground's got to be pretty deep because it's such rich agricultural soil.
But you talk along the range. You talk Crow's Nest, Highfields. There's gold all the way along
where the
that
bedrock's
ridge.
coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's that transition zone again. So
yeah.
Right. So what else have we got? Have you got more to?
No, I got. We could talk, but I got. I was just going to say something about. We're talking about using detectors for different applications.
Yep.
I was talking to Brett at the Prospector's patch in Perth yesterday, and you might have heard us discuss or have seen us using AT Max.
Yeah.
How awesome it is on, like it's designed for gold and salt. On the beach, it's just a brilliant beach machine.
Yeah.
What that translates to in WA is on the salt lakes, just getting so much gold with Max.
Absolutely.
It loves the salt.
Yeah.
And a lot of those nuggets in WA are around the edges of the salt lakes.
Those boys over there in WA, they're bringing back more expensive machines and saying, "Give me a Max."
Yeah, they are, because the VLF Max on salt lakes in WA is killer because it's so good with the salt.
Yeah.
And there's lots of gold in the salt lakes.
because nothing really goes on it.
No.
So some of those salt beaches over there that you
The salt
you
beaches.
can't even, no machines ever work.
No.
So, but that AT Max just surprised me.
Yeah.
I was really surprised by that these professional prospectors
Yeah.
are smashing these beaches
Yeah.
with those
Yeah,
AT Maxes.
they are.
So, yeah, phenomenal machine. So, it's one of my favourites. So, righto guys, well, we might call it quits there.
We're going detecting, actually.
We are going detecting.
Going to the beach.
Well, it's raining.
Is it? Still raining?
Oh,
Oh, it doesn't matter. That just means we're going to get wet.
Who won the comp for the pan? I would have to go back and check that, Russell, last week. If you're talking about last week, it went out to someone. I would have to double check that. It'll be on the Facebook page. We put it on the Facebook page. So, right. So thank you very much for coming along and attending. It's been good. Thank you, Warren.
Yeah, awesome. I like
Update us on the US.
Yeah.
So, and thank you. Now, next week's show will be just me at this stage, but we'll never know what we'll get up to.
Oh, what about Warwick? We're going to be at if you want to meet us in person.
Oh, absolutely.
And who wouldn't want to meet us in person?
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to be at the, what are we going to be at?
We're going to be at the Moreton Bay, I think they call it Moreton Bay Expo, but it's a camping caravan show.
3-day.
3-day thing, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Not this weekend, the one after.
Following weekend, yes.
So if you're in South East Queensland, come and say hello.
Yes, and we might have to do a Friday night from there.
From Moreton Bay, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So we're up there in a couple of weeks' time, so feel free to come and pop in and say g'day. We'll have all the Garrett machines there and a stack of other machines, and Warren will be making guest appearances.
I'll be there the whole time.
The whole time.
But we can do a bit of training. If you've got a machine or you're thinking of buying a machine, we can give you a bit of demos and training. And
absolutely. Well, and feel free to come along to the show. It's at Redcliffe, so if you live up that way and you can't get down to see us to get a bit of training, bring the machine down.
Yeah.
We'll be able to work it out for you, and
Should
so feel free for that. So we've got that happening, and then next week we'll have a show, and we'll come up with a topic in the next. If anyone's got any topics that they want us to specifically cover, just shoot me a message and we can do that, and we can go from there. Okay. Thanks very much, folks. Have a great evening.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night.